One, two, three. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, the one and only Barlow's. First off, Happy New Year's. I know 2026. Can you believe it, guys? Happy New Year already. So, 2025, it was a good year for movies and shows. Every year is always a good year for movies and shows, okay? As a true nerd for stuff like that, I can guarantee it was a good year. It was a really good year. And so, of course, just like every YouTuber who does mainly, review content, obviously we're going to do an end of the year review for a bunch of movies and shows. So that's what we're going to do. If you remember, I think it's like my first ever video on here. I talked about, the best shows of 2025, at least like the first 6 months, right? The first half. So it's basically like a sequel to that. We're going to talk about the best shows of 2025 for the second half, at least only for returning shows, new seasons, okay? So I'll do a separate video for like new shows. I'll probably do like a top 10. That'll probably be the next video, a top 10 best new shows of 2025. But I think for this video, I'll just do, a continuation of my, reviewing new seasons of older shows that premiered in the second half of 2025. So I already talked about some other ones in my last video. I talked about like the White Lotus season 3, Andor season 2. So, go check that out again if you want a refresher of those. So for this one, we'll talk about the new seasons, and then once I'm done going through the new seasons that came out in 2025, the second half, I'll do like a top 10 best new seasons, top 10 best new seasons of 2025, like all of it together. Okay, so obviously, those are only shows that I've watched. I know new seasons of shows that I have seen, but I haven't checked out. I just, I'm a busy guy. I just haven't gone to that. So if you see some missing ones, don't worry, we'll get there eventually. Okay, so we got a lot of shows to talk about, and I don't want this video to be an hour long, so I'm trying really hard not to make more hour-long videos. So without further ado, let's just get to our first show, okay? So again, not top 10. I'm just going to go through it, my thoughts, on the new seasons before we actually get to top 10, which will be in the end of the video, okay? So, yeah. First show I want to talk about is, and this is a good one, okay? This is a good one because I feel like everyone who I talk to about it, they don't like it, but I like it. So we're going to talk about is Has Been Hotel Season 2, okay? So Has Been Hotel, I think, is a very show that has like a certain reputation. It's a fan base. Everyone's always saying the fan base. Fan base are freaks. The fan base are gay and weird. All those things I am too. So I kind of like Has Been Hotel. I always like the lore. The show takes place in hell. I think that's like a pretty cool setting, right? Demons are always shown like on Earth doing bad stuff, doing this and that. So I think it is kind of refreshing to see, how a unique interpretation of what hell looks like. Okay, so. Don't go expecting this to be like Bible accurate or anything. Like that's not at all what we're trying to do here. So, but first season of Has Been Hotel I thought was pretty good. That was pretty solid. The second season I thought was also pretty good. Okay, I think the animation. I know it doesn't work for some people, right? It's very sharp. It's a very sharp animation style. All the characters are really like skinny. I guess is a good way to say it. I don't know. It's just sharp. That's the best way to describe it. If you know the art style, you know the art style. It doesn't bother me that much. I know all the characters kind of just like they have the same like silhouettes, and again, not a big deal for me. I'm not like some like huge like animation fan or anything, so for me that's not a big deal. I will say a big aspect of Has Been Hotel is the music, right? Because this is a musical. There's like 3 songs every episode, and I've always had like a fondness for musicals. Even if I don't necessarily like a movie, like the new Wicked movie wasn't very good, but I still enjoyed the music. So I thought the music was really good. So I do enjoy musicals, and I think that's why I like Has Been Hotels, because the musical, it had some good songs in there. I mean, it's nothing crazy, I'm not adding like a single one of these songs to my playlist or anything, my Spotify playlist. But if I go on shuffle on Spotify and they play a song from the show, like a good one, like my favorite song from this new season of Has Been Hotel is, I think it's called Vox Populi, and it's sung by the main villain, who is great, by the way. Like I think the villain in this season is great, but sidetracking, like if I put shuffle on Spotify and it just play me a random playlist, random songs, and they play a song from Has Been Hotel, I'll listen to it because I do like it. It is pretty good. Again, I'm not adding it to my playlist. It's not like fucking Grammy award winning anything, but it's still pretty good though. But yeah, like I said, I think with this season, what I like was the villain, right? Box, the TV head guy. I thought he was great. He's a really good villain. Like he's one of those guys who you really like love to hate because he's like a huge douchebag, a piece of. He's just a big asshole, but he's so like charismatic and just so energetic, and it's just so fun to watch as him just be evil and do these bad things and say these bad things. Like there's a part in the show, kind of corny line, but he says like he basically just says "Make hell great again," which Kind of corny. Again, I said that it's kind of it's not very clever. But I guess we could add Vox to like the list of characters who are like Trump parodies. Like Biff from Back to the Future, and I guess Homelander kind of is one also. But Vox, I think, is very entertaining. He's definitely like the strongest thing about this new season. Was just like he was just great to watch. He was great to watch. Like I said, the music was still pretty good. Animation was still pretty good. They still aren't really good at doing like fight scenes because like when they do fight scenes, it's very short and it doesn't last long and it's not very like entertaining. So most of it is just drama, But I think the whole plot of like demons in hell wanting to like invade and conquer heaven, I thought that was like a really cool idea. I really liked it. The execution was okay. I don't think it really like did too well because I think the biggest thing about Has Been Hotel is that it only has like 8 episodes a season, and each episode is only like less than 30 minutes, which I don't know why it has that. I feel like cartoons, especially if it's only like a 30-minute episode, I feel like you just have longer episodes. Like at least 10 episodes, 12 even, right? I just feel like because 8 episodes is short, especially only for 30. If it was like 8 episodes and they were all like 40 minutes to an hour long, I think that's fine. That's enough, runtime to cover things. But this was really short though, so I'm not happy about that. I think that really like held it back from greatness was just the fact that it's short runtime. So it did feel a little bit rushed. Like they start talking about conquering heaven in like episode 1, but they don't really get to that until like episode 5 when they really start kicking in. So we have like 4 episodes where it's just like set up, and that's like half the season. And I don't know. I just didn't really like it because like half the show is set up, while the other half is the actual plot. Like the plot should happen in the beginning. The setup should be the first episode, maybe the second. Not like the first 4, especially if it's only 8 episodes. So kind of lame. The main characters in Has Been Hotel have never really been my favorite. Like the Charlie girl, her like girlfriend, kind of weak. Like the main cast has always been kind of weak. It does suffer a lot from like bad characters don't get what they deserve. Like Vox is the villain. He does and says all these awful things, but he doesn't like die or anything. I don't think he really gets like punished for it. Like they literally in the end, okay, the final episode is really this bad scene where they literally use the power of friendship. They threw like a fucking beam that comes out of their hands from their hearts. All these like main characters, literally the power of friendship. That's how they defeat the villain. That is so lame. Okay, that is so lame. It's so corny and it's so like a pathetic way to end the story. Like you really couldn't think of any other way to end it besides the power of literally the power of friendship. It's like this is this fucking My Little Pony. Like what the fuck are we doing here? And yeah, Has Been Hotel. It's mature. You can tell because they curse every like 5 minutes. Every like sentence a character says in Has Been Hotel has like an F bomb in it. And I mean, you could say I'm kind of hypocritical. I curse a lot. I think I just said the F bomb like 3 times before. So, but it is because like it is kind of comes off as edgy, like a teenage, like a middle schooler. So I think again that's another thing that holds it back. And this was like really one character. I think his name is Valentino. I fucking hate Valentino. He is such he like he's an abuser. He abuses the one character Angel does. Literally like sexually abuses him, and no one does anything about it. Like Angel does works for him, and I understand there's like contracts, right? Demons make like deals, but like none of Angel does his friends do anything to actually like save him from this like his abuser who very clearly treats him like shit. And it's like high school drama. A lot of the characters are supposed to be like adults, but they all act like teenagers. Like they have like the little argument to do, like, "Oh, I'm not talking to him. You talk." It's just the drama is very lame. It's not very good drama. But even with all that being said, I don't know. I just still find it charming. Like I just enjoy it. I just think even if it isn't exactly like super well written, it definitely has a lot of flaws with its writing. But you know what? I think it's like a guilty pleasure. I think Has Been Hotel to me is like a guilty pleasure. It's not particularly amazing, but I don't know. I just enjoy watching it. Okay. So I still like the new season. Season 2, I think, was pretty good. I still recommend it. I still think you should check out Has Been Hotel. It is really good. Just ignore what all the homophobes say. If you don't like Has Been Hotel, you're homophobic. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. But yeah, I still liked it. I mean, it could have been better. I wouldn't say it's as good as season 1. I think in some aspects it was better, but I definitely think it's a step up in the right direction. I just think that runtime is just too low. Too low. I mean, like only 8 episodes, 30 minutes. I'm telling you, it held you back a lot, really, when you have so much to say. Because I feel like Has Been Hotel is a good show. I think that will do really good with like, one of my friends calls it a filler. I feel like a filler episode where you just have more of a lowdown, no serious plot, will do a lot because to flesh out the characters. Because Has Been Hotel has a big cast of characters, so I think a longer runtime would have done wonders for the series. But I guess it just doesn't. I guess 8 episodes is just the standard in streaming, which I really dislike. Back in like the 90s, shows used to have like 20 episodes a season. Okay, what we need to do is go back to that, but no, we can't. Okay, so regardless, I mean, Has Been Hotel season 2. I still think it was pretty good. I still enjoyed it. I think the music was still pretty good, and I'm still watching. I think the show got renewed to like season 4, so we still got plenty to go. And what I do like about Has Been Hotel, and I'll give extra points, is the fact that season 1 came out last year and season 2 came out this year in 2025. I guess last year, I mean 2024. And I do like the fact that it wasn't like a 3-year wait on like another certain show we'll get into in a bit. But I appreciate. I'll always give bonus points to a show when they release a new season yearly, because I think that should be the model. Like, again, back in the 90s, 2000s, a show premiered a new season every year. That's why it's called a season, because it was supposed to air throughout the whole season of a year. The summer, the spring, and then it'll air the next season, the next summer. So I think we're missing out on that. But yeah, Has Been Hotel season 2 is pretty good. I liked it. Okay, next show. Next show I want to talk about is a little comedy series on Netflix called A Man on the Inside. I watched the show because the main actor, I forgot his name. I think his name is Ted Dancer. He was in The Good Place, which is a really funny comedy series. I would highly recommend. I really like The Good Place. So I decided to check it out because he was really hilarious in there. He's like a pretty good comedic actor. So I checked this one out. And it's a fun little series. It is good. It's nothing like grandiose. It isn't like a high stakes plot. It isn't like, super drama or anything. It's a funny little comedy series about an old man who goes undercover as a private detective. It's fun. It's like it's a series you put on that you can, again, it's only like 8 episodes, 30 minutes episodes on Netflix. You can easily watch in one day and just like, yeah, like that was fun. That was fun. Like it's a fun little show. Okay, like I can't really I don't want to go too hard into it because I mean there's a lot to say. This isn't really like anything special, but I still find it very charming. I still really enjoyed it. Again, bonus points. Season 1 of A Man on the Inside came out in 2024. New season 2025. So again, love the yearly thing. I'll give extra bonus points for that. But yeah, fun little show. I still very much enjoyed it. I laughed a couple of times. Very funny. Ted Dancer is a great actor. I really enjoyed him. I really liked his dynamic with the main love interest in the new season, who's played by like the actor's actual wife. So they had great chemistry. I really liked enjoying that. Old people fall in love. You don't really see that a lot in media. So I'm glad they did something like that. I really like the whole little like side characters, like the guy's daughter, his like other old best friend, his like boss, and the lady who works at the retirement home season 1. I don't really know why she was in season 2. She doesn't really do anything. I guess they just brought her back just to bring her back because, I mean, it's Stephanie Beatriz. She's a big name, at least in TV, right? She was in Has Been Hotel also. So look at that. Stephanie Beatriz. She voiced Charlie's girlfriend in Has Been Hotel, and now she's in the show also. So yeah, but again, I don't have any like serious complaints or anything because again, it's not a serious show, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. Because I did like this new season. I did enjoy it. I watched it like in one day because it's Netflix, so it's a fun little show. Like if you want to watch a fun little show because you're bored one day and just like right, because it's probably like 4 hours. I think A Man on the Inside would do a good job at that. This new season I thought was fun. Again, nothing serious, so I was nothing serious to complain about. It's just a fun little series that I think you should check out because it's good. It's a good fun. I enjoyed it. I may not remember that much from it, honestly, but I know I liked it. I know I laughed a lot at it. So it's pretty good. I still like this new season. I think it's just as good as the first one. And yeah, I'll definitely watch more seasons because I think it is just it's funny. It's funny. And speaking of a funny, cute little show, the next show we're talking about, another Netflix original, is Nobody Wants This season 2. And again, bonus points. Nobody Wants This season 1 came out in 2024. New season 2025. Again, I love that. But Nobody Wants This is another comedy series. This one stars Kirsten Dunst. Oh, no. Is it Kirsten? No, Kristen Stewart. That's the girl from Twilight. Kirsten Dunst? No, the Kirsten Dunst is the girl from Spider-Man. Oh, I forgot her name. It's like Kirsten and Kristen something. I forgot her name. The point is she was also in The Good Place. Okay, that's again. So, good show. Amazing good show. I love The Good Place. One of my favorite comedies ever. So, again, I checked it out because she was also a great in that and I wanted to see more. But yeah, I really like Nobody Wants It. It's a fun little comedy romance series. Okay, it's about the main plot is about like a Jewish rabbi, like a religious person, religious clergy figure, and a atheist woman who runs like a sex advice podcast, Falling in Love. That's that's a silly idea, and it works. It does really work because it's funny. It's funny. I liked it. It's based in LA, so it has like that LA humor. Which I mean, if you're not from LA, shout out to all my LA people. Okay, yeah, you see it, LA baby. There's like a lot of shows take place in LA. A lot of media does, and Los Angeles has like a certain type of humor to it. Okay, it's like celebrity humor, fast paced. Like if you've seen other comedy movies or shows take place in LA, you understand what I'm talking about. They all have like a similar style of humor, and I call it the LA humor, and it has that. I like LA humor. You know, I'm from LA, so obviously I do not mind that at all. I think the two main leads, Adam Brody and I think it's Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell, that's her name. Kristen Bell is great. I think they're both really good actors. I totally buy their romance. They have great chemistry, the two of them. Like it's good. It's good. I could definitely they could definitely date in real life. Okay, I mean, probably better than Kristen Bell's like current husband. He made that one weird Instagram post where he said he like almost murdered her. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's what it is. What it is. But I think Nobody Wants This is pretty good. It's a very Jewish show. It's about obviously a Jewish rabbi, and I always like watching stuff about other cultures. It kind of like enriches my worldview. So I always enjoy that very very Jewish show. So I learned a lot about Judaism and Jewish culture. Maybe the show is funded by the state of Israel. I don't know, but let's hope not. But yeah, again, again, my biggest complaint about the new season was the fact that it does kind of end the same as the way season one ends. So like, I don't want to spoil anything too crazy. I mean, I kind of spoiled the other shows, but it's fine. Like the way Nobody Wants the season two ends, it leaves almost on the same note as season one ends. Like they didn't really break up, but there's definitely like a flaw in the relationship, and so I kind of like. I don't know. I just feel like they could have done something different because it did just kind of feel like the same repeat as season one, which kind of brings the question like, you know, are we just gonna keep doing this? Like, are they just gonna like, they're gonna be together start of the season, then in the middle they're gonna like kind of break up, but not really. Then the season ends and they're back together. I don't know. I just hope they don't like if they do later seasons, which they probably are because the story isn't really fully wrapped. I just hope they don't stick to like that formula. Like, they really like, are they gonna be together or are they not? Okay, like these are grown ass adults. They on and off again. Like it gets kind of annoying. It does get kind of annoying. But yeah, nobody wants. My favorite character in Nobody Wants This was Adam Brody's brother, who's like this giant behemoth, like 7 feet tall. He's hilarious. I like it. He's fucking hilarious. I do feel bad for him in this season. I think he definitely like because he's kind of involved in this like love triangle with Kristen Bell's sister, and there's like his wife, and there's kind of this like love triangle because the two. It's a whole thing. I'm not like too bad. I've never been a fan of like love triangles. It's just never really been something I enjoyed because I think they're more like frustrating more than anything. So I kind of hope they don't do that. Like, if he's gonna get with the Kristen Bell's sister, which, I mean, two sisters dating two brothers, it's not really that weird, right? I feel like that's fine, right? I think so. I hope so. But if he gets with her, just gonna get with her. Don't do this whole like the whole season. There's gonna be this thing with his wife, and they're gonna like because I feel like that is with the direction they're going. Like they're gonna get divorced, right? The whole season was the fact that she was like unhappy because they married young, and she never really got to experience actually being independent and free. And obviously, Adam Brody, the dude, has feelings for the other girl that he's just kind of hiding. So I don't know if they're gonna do the whole divorce thing. They should just get on with it. Like don't drag it off because I feel like again that'd just be annoying. And yeah, again, I think it was pretty funny. They do. I did dislike where they like Kristen Bell's sister starts dating this dude fucking out of nowhere. By the way, one episode he just shows up like, oh yeah, we've been dating. Like what? Who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? And they start dating, and they're gonna get like married. But then in the season, she calls it off, and they just don't get married. And I thought it was also kind of annoying because like, first off, who the fuck are you? It's her therapist. Now I'm thinking about it. She was dating her therapist, and they bring up how kind of like messed up that is. The fact that a therapist is dating his patient, which I mean I'm sure that's like not okay. But I mean it was kind of funny because like they go to a couples therapy, and the therapist is friends with the couple therapist, and they're both just clowning on the girl because it's funny. I mean, like, yeah, like I'm laughing thinking about it because it is a really funny show. I really did enjoy it. I think Nobody Wants It is really fun. It's really funny. It's really funny. That's the best way to say. Again, it's not a serious show. I think it's a good show to watch with your significant other. Your partner. I think it's definitely a good show to watch because I feel like it's very good insight into like relationships, especially people of older age. Right, both the characters are like late 30s. I want to say so. It's a good representation of that. Very. It's funny. It is funny. Okay, I like the parents, right? Adam Brody's parents don't like Kristen Bell because she's not Jewish, so they don't like. They want him to get with a Jewish girl, and Kristen Bell's parents are just they're like on a whole other level. Okay, like they're also hilarious. They're just like they're a whole fucking mess, and so there's like that whole thing. And yeah, I just think it was a fun series. I think it's fun. I think they should just wrap it up, like maybe season 3, and that's it. I seriously don't know. Like I said, I don't know where else they can go with the story. I think one more season, and that should be it. Like a 3-season thing, which I feel is pretty fitting. Again, like unless you're just gonna keep blue balling everyone with this relationship. Like they got to get together or they're not. Okay, like don't drag it on for too much because then it's not. Even if it's funny, it's just gonna be annoying. So again, whatever. I liked it. Nobody wants season two. I think I say it's about as good as the first one. I don't say it's anything great or anything, but it's still enjoyable. I still very much enjoyed it, and yeah, I think that's does it for. I was kind of in my head, A Man in the Inside, Nobody Wants This are kind of similar because they're both like easy shows to watch. A Man in the Inside, especially, but Nobody Wants This, I think, is a little bit just more. What's the word for it? I think like if you're watching it with your significant other, that thing will be a lot more of an elevated experience because I think it does touch all about relationships. So I think it's good in that part, and I think it's a good representation of that. So good season. I hope to do one more and one more only. Okay, don't drag it off on like another show, which we'll get into. I should definitely do that. Anyway, next show we're going back to another animated one, and this one is Adventure Time Fiona and Cake season 2. So no kudos. This one, I think this one took like a 2-year gap between seasons, so this doesn't get bonus points. But Adventure Time, I've loved Adventure Time, the original cartoon on Cartoon Network. I love that show. I love the Adventures. Probably one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows, Cartoon Network cartoons ever. It's a great show, and I'm really glad that they bring it up because I feel like Adventure Time and like it's kind of like Star Wars. Like the lore and world is so huge that like I feel like there's an infinite amount of possibilities for storytelling in the Adventure Time world. So I am glad they're doing more with it because again, if you know Adventure Time, the world is huge. The lore is crazy. You can do so much with it, and I'm glad. It's kind of silly they picked like the two characters who are basically just like Ice King's fan fiction. So I mean, it's a funny choice though. I kind of liked it. Season 1 I think did the whole like multiverse thing, right? It was Fiona and Kate traveling the whole different universes because Adventure Time was a multiverse. What doesn't? And that was fun. This season 2, I think is a lot more like the stakes aren't nearly as high as season 1. Like it's definitely more of a low down show. Like this season. It has to do a lot with the Huntress wizard, who's like Finn's girlfriend, the little like tree wizard chick. I don't remember her that much from Adventure Time. I know she like played a somewhat big role later in the seasons. I don't think she did anything that huge. So I'm glad that, this like side is essentially a side character gets her own season to shine and do great things because she was entertaining. Huntress wizard I thought was a really fun character. I really liked her. I liked that they explored her more, and I think she's definitely a better love interest for Finn than like Flame Princess. I know there's some war going on the internet, but I stand firmly by that. And yeah, I think this was more of an exploration of like Fiona's relationships also, right? Like her alternative worlds with the DJ Flame and Hunter, who may or may not be trans, not important, but I just wanted to bring it up. And Fennel, who's like, because, in Adventure Time, Finn has like the green clone of him. And so there's like also that. Like, I don't really. Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. Like I know people who love Adventure Time, but they don't really watch Fiona and Cake. I think the reason for that is that Fiona and Cake is very like millennial coded. Like I don't know. Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake is the type of cartoon that like gay millennials with blue hair and like they drink coffee at Starbucks a lot. That's the type of show they would watch. And obviously, I'm not millennial. I don't have blue hair. I'm not gay, but I don't know. I just like every time I talk about Fiona and Cake, everyone do I talk to, all my buddies, they don't really like take it serious or anything. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe because they like see this. I was too old to be watching that. Or Adventure Time was very young. But like one thing I love about Fiona and Cake is that it's mature. Like the original Adventure Time was for little kids. That shit was very like G for everyone. Okay. Adventure Time Fiona and Cake is like PG-13. There's like blood in it. They curse. They deal with more mature topics. They mention sex, nudity, and so I like that because people who watch the original Adventure Time, they grew up. They're like now young adults, and the show is for young adults. So I do appreciate the fact that they aged it up as the audience. It's just something that I appreciate when they do that. So it isn't just another little kid show. But I still feel like a lot of people have that mentality that Adventure Time Fiona and Cake is a little kid show. So I don't know. I just hope they do that. I like season 2. I know season 2 was kind of controversial because people, again, it wasn't nearly as high stakes as season 1. Season 1 was about the multiverse, saving the multiverse from this and that. Season 2 isn't about that. It's more about Fiona's world, more about saving Finn. It's more about the relationships. And a lot of people may not like that. I like that, though. I've always been a bit of a romantic, right? Like, I like romances. I like romance movies and shows, right? Nobody Wants That. That was really great. That was a romance series. So I do enjoy that. I did very much enjoy that. Seeing that, more character development, more character study, I guess would be a good word for that. So I did enjoy that. I think the animation was really great. It's very... I always liked Adventure Time's animation, right? The whole like flimsy, like simple faces and stuff like that. It was always a fun cute little style that I enjoyed. So I did like that they keep it that way. And yeah, I liked Adventure Time Fiona and Cake. I thought it was really good. This season I thought was particularly good. In the middle, did kind of drag a little bit, because the whole plot is about saving Finn from some like disease he got, and the way it does go slow in the middle, but I think it picks up in the end. Like by the end of it, I think they really like tied in nicely with like a neat bow. Like I think the season did pretty well, even if it did like meander a bit there in the middle. But I think the beginning and the end were really strong. I really liked it, and I really appreciate. I hope more seasons continue giving the spotlight to like minor characters, like Huntress Wizard. I thought was a great idea. It was an amazing idea to give her the spotlight. See more of her and how her character again, fun character. I like Huntress Wizard. She's really great, and I enjoyed it. There is some like weird things people were saying. Like Cake, like she's a cat, but she like turns into like almost more human, sexy quote unquote to like impress the Fiona and Cake human version of Lady Rainicorn, and people say like that's weird bestiality. I kind of was like that, but then like I kind of started watching BoJack Horseman, and that show also kind of does something similar to that, where like the human have relationships with the humanoid animals, and at one point you just kind of like just accept that that's just how it is, and like it's weird maybe, but like who cares, Like I mean, you get used to it eventually, so I don't really see like a problem with that. I know there's some controversy about that. I didn't really care. Some people also didn't like Fiona; they thought she was a little like bitchy, like that. She like was very self centered. She kind of was, but I think the show like they talk about that, like I mean, they do just kind of the fake out with Fiona just apologizes and oh no, it's all good. Everyone forgives her. But I mean, I don't know. I think people have the idea that all main characters have to be like perfect. Like I like more shows where like the main character is flawed. Again, BoJack Horseman, that's a good example. BoJack is a horrible person, but but you also show because you want to see him succeed. You want to see him do better himself. Same thing with Fiona and Kick. Fiona fucks up a lot in the season, but like, I still want her to succeed. I want her to like improve herself. And so I still enjoyed it because in the end, I think she does try to improve herself. So I appreciate that, even if it isn't the execution wasn't the best. I still appreciate the fact that that's what they were trying. So I really like that. Um, yeah, I hope they do more seasons. They could definitely do more. Again, make new seasons, spotlight minor characters, explore more of the Fiona world. Right, we only see the city and both seasons. We never really see like outside of the city. So I do wonder what like the world entails in Fiona world. But it was good seeing all the other like Farm World fan. That was really great seeing him again. We travel. You do show some of the bit of the multiverse and more of like the cosmic side of the Adventure Time universe, like the Cosmic Owl and what's his name, like Prismo. That was fun. I really liked all that. And it's just a good season. It was good. It was a good season. I really like season two. I won't say this is great season one, but I still appreciate it. I thought it was still really great. I really like it. I think Adventure Time Fiona and Cake. I say it's definitely continuing the legacy of Adventure Time nicely. Okay, I hope. And I really do hope people watch it. Like if you've watched Adventure Time, you should check out Fiona and Cake. I thought it was really great, and I enjoy watching it. And that one did have 10 episodes and 30 minutes, and I think Has Been Hotel should have that because those two extra episodes do a lot. Okay, so yeah, fun series. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys check it out because it's more Adventure Time content. Like who doesn't like Adventure Time? Okay, like it's great. It's great. It really is great. But okay, besides that, the next show I want to talk about is Peacemaker season 2. Both Adventure Time, Fiona Cake, Peacemaker, both HBO Max. Peacemaker season 2, I think, had like an almost like 4 year wait between seasons. Because I think the first season came out like in 2022, so almost 4 year wait. That was really annoying, but did it succeed? And yeah, I just say so. I say so. I mean, okay, first off, obviously there's like the big outside things, right? Like in between season 1 and 2 of Peacemaker, the DC like cinematic universe kind of got rebooted, right? Like the whole first one with the horrible. James Gunn is now in charge. He's like doing the whole new thing, right? And season 1 of Peacemaker is still canon to like universe, right? Like in the final episode of Peacemaker season 1, like the Ezra Miller Flash and the Jason Momoa Aquaman show up. They have this little cameo, and so you would think like, how would they like retcon that? Well, they did it in the most James Gunn did it in the most comic book way. You just don't acknowledge it, like episode 1 of Peacemaker season 2 starts with like the same scene, right? Peacemaker attacking those like alien butterflies. But instead of Jason Momoa Aquaman and Ezra Miller Flash showing up and having a little like cute cameo, instead it's Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern and Isabella Merced's Hawk Girl. And they just like, yep, they've always been there. And I like, because if you go back to season 1, literally on HBO Max, if you go back, final episode of season 1, they'll still be Aquaman and Flash. They'll still show up. So I love the fact that they're just not like acknowledging it and they just change it. And it's very comic book. That's exactly the type of shit that happens in comic books. You read one issue and the next issue they just act like that issue never happened. So it's great. I really like that. I did really like that. They just don't acknowledge it, because how else can you acknowledge it? I mean, make season 1 not canon. Like the events of season 1 is still canon to season 2. Sorry, I got like a message. So I think that was a great approach. And yeah, but besides that, as for the actual season itself, I still enjoyed it. I obviously went to the whole multiverse thing again, because that's like the popular trend, right? Everything's doing like a multiverse. So I will say the elephant in the room, right? I feel like most people watch Peacemaker kind of felt disappointed because the story didn't feel nearly as like bombastic as season 1, which is like kind of a recurring trend here, right? Like, I feel like I've been saying that almost every season I'm talking about. But I will agree on that to a certain extent. Like, so like there's two plots in Peacemaker: the multiverse and Peacemaker being hunted down by like the whatever secret police department is called, right? I definitely think the multiverse stuff is way more interesting, right? Peacemaker goes to like this other universe, and by the way, it's Earth X, right? The Nazi universe. Everyone knew it, right? I don't know why they were doing like a whole like mystery reveal, like like in the last episode revealed this is the Nazi universe. I feel like everyone knew, like, and since the very first, like, I can't remember, it was episode 1 or 2 when Peacemaker first crosses into the universe, everyone knew it was Earth X. Okay, so I don't know why. I feel like they should have just been more obvious with it. I think Peacemaker is kind of a fucking idiot if you didn't notice whole like the swastikas and the Hitler portrait. It was funny reveal though, like it was funny, but like I was thinking like how did you not realize that, dude? But I feel like they should have done more with the multiverse, like the Nazi universe. Like Peacemaker kind of shows up, and then as soon as he realizes it's a Nazi universe, he just leaves, and they don't really do anything with it. I don't know. I just feel like, right, because like the Flash show also went to Earth X, and that one did like great. They hold like a whole little arc about it. I feel like they should have just done more about it, because the whole like plot in Peacemaker's into the other plot of Peacemaker being hunted down by like this like police, right, rather than like Rick Flag. I think that was kind of lame. It wasn't very interesting. Like every episode, they're like almost gonna get him, and then they don't get him. It's like, oh, we're gonna get him again. It's like, oh no, we didn't get him. Oh, we're gonna get him again. It's like it's just a repeat of every episode, and I just felt like it was just like it just got repetitive. It got boring. Like, are you gonna get him or you're not gonna get him? Okay, like fucking get over with it already. Okay, so I think they should focus more on the multiverse, Peacemaker in the Nazi universe, especially with his brother, his relationship with his alternate brother and father. That was really good. I really liked the whole Peacemaker having to realize that his like other universe brother, who he like loved and cherished, is a white supremacist in this universe. So, like, there's a part in Peacemaker, and I talked about it in my podcast, so you guys check that out, where Peacemaker's Nazi alternate brother is being like beat up and almost murdered, right? And John Cena's acting in this scene, where his like reaction was so amazing. Like, oh my god, that was such a great scene. I felt like it felt so real. It felt like it was actually happening. I could see the sorrow in John Cena's face. So he gave an amazing performance in that season. Amazing performance. Last episode of Peacemaker, though, season 2, did kind of suck. That shit was like an hour long, because most Peacemaker episodes, I think, were like 40 minutes. But they don't do anything with that. Like, they have like a whole session in the show, like almost for like 5 minutes dedicated to Peacemaker being at a band, at a concert, and it's the band literally playing the theme song, which is probably a great theme song. I love the song they use in it, but it just felt like, why is that here? Like, I don't understand what relevance does it have. And the way it ended, again, I'm not gonna get to like spoilers in it, but the way it ended was just so like lame. It's so anticlimactic after everything that happened. And I don't know. I didn't really like how it ended. I think the ending sucked. Like the last episode of season two of Peacemaker might be like the worst episode because it sucked. It really sucked. I don't think the season as a whole sucked. I still liked it. I still liked it. I still very much enjoyed watching it, especially with the multiverse stuff. You know, Vigilante, Peacemaker sidekick, he's great. He's really funny. All the side characters, you know, Adebayo, I think that's her name, and you know, Peacemaker's love interest. I think they're all great. The thing with like the bird with the Eagle Lee, right? The one character wants to kill the bird. I thought that was really stupid. I feel like I don't know why that was in there. I mean, some people liked it. That was funny. I didn't really like it. I just thought it was stupid. But I think the cameos. I like as much as I hate cameos because I feel like a nerd. Just like oh I know that thing. You know the thing is like oh that's it. I think the cameo like Lex Luthor. Spoiler by the way, but I'm bringing it up anyway. Lex Luthor showing up that was really great. I feel like it felt natural to the story. It didn't feel like cheap. Like just to have a cameo, just to have a cameo. So I really like that. And the connections to the DC universe, I think, were great. Right, episode one had the whole like Justice Friends or Justice Gang, whatever it's called. I think that was really good. So I still liked it. I still like Peacemaker season two. It wasn't the best thing ever, right? I still think season one was probably better, but I still like. I don't know. I still very much enjoyed it. I hope they make no seasons. Like I don't think James Gunn has announced like a season three or anything. But the way season two ended, like they better have a season three. You know, or Peacemaker better have his own movie because there's no way you're just gonna end it like that. You know. But again, I liked it. It's kind of like I still say it's a good season. I also say it's a good season. I will also say that the last episode was horrible. But I don't think that this takes away from the whole because there's still 7 episodes which I think were great. You know, even if it weren't the best things ever. Because like I said, John Cena's acting phenomenal, phenomenal. Okay, fucking, I love the whole. I think it was great. It was a fun show. I really still enjoyed watching it. I don't. I do think James Gunn kind of probably needs to take a break from writing this. I feel like he's getting really repetitive with his style. You know, so we'll have to wait and see. I guess you know. I don't think the gun misfired horribly. Okay, I know people are saying, right, the gun misfired. James Gunn misfired. I do think the gun needs to reload and take his time aiming. That's what it needs to do. Okay, but again, I like Peacemaker season two. I'll defend it because I did enjoy it, and I hope they make a season three. I really do hope. Okay, and hope it doesn't take another like 4 years, 15 seasons because that was a horrible wait. Okay, but yeah, I still recommend it. Check out Peacemaker. Probably one of the best superhero shows airing right now. Okay, but besides.
Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
That next show I want to talk about, and this next show, it's on Amazon Prime Video. Has Been Hotel is also on Amazon. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's also on Amazon Prime Video. This show is kind of cheating talking about it because it's still airing. Like the season hasn't ended, but it started airing in 2025, literally like the last like 2 weeks of 2025. So I feel like I still bring it up even if it's not completed. I mean, I'm wearing the shirt, okay? Like I should like I'm gonna talk about it. I'm wearing the shirt, and I talked about. I'm pretty sure I wore this shirt in the last video talking about TV shows also. Maybe that'll be like my thing now. But I'm gonna talk about it. That's Fallout Season 2. Okay, I love Fallout. I love the games. It's my favorite thing ever. Okay, I literally have a poster of Fallout. I have Funko Pops of Fallout. I played all the games. I love Fallout. I really do. Okay, and I love the show. I did. I remember when I first watched season 1. I didn't really like it. I thought honestly I was just being like a try hard fanboy who just hates anything because it's just stupid. It's not like the old stuff. They're breaking the lore or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. I rewatched it and I realized, you know what? This is fucking great. Okay, I will say, people always say The Last of Us TV show is like the best, live action adaptation of a video game, at least in TV. I disagree. I think Fallout easily takes that crown. Fallout is such a good show, and I think Fallout as a series was a great series to be adapted because it isn't like boxed and like The Last of Us has only like a specific storyline. The Last of Us is literally just the game, but in live action. Fallout, it isn't the games. Like it's the lore of the games, but you're not just repeating the same story. That's why I didn't really like about The Last of Us. That's why I didn't watch the new season. I think they had a new season in 2025 also, but I didn't watch it because it is just a repeat of the games, at least in the story wise. So like, I've already experienced the story. It's not exciting to me. I know what happens, and it wasn't even a particularly good story to begin with. So controversial take, but that's what I'm saying. So I really appreciate Fallout is doing its own thing. And again, bonus points. Season 1 of Fallout came out in 2024. Season 2 in 2025. I'll be a very literally last 2 weeks of the year, but still, I appreciate that, especially since Fallout is like a big budget show, also, right? Like the other shows, like nobody wants this, and Man on the Inside are pretty small budget shows. There isn't like anything crazy happens in it. So I like Amazon the fact that they have these high budget shows and they're releasing it yearly. That's great. I hope they keep doing that. Maybe Fallout Season 3 in 2026. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, as for Fallout Season 2, I'm enjoying it. Again, kind of cheating. I think there's only like 4 episodes. So, I mean, we're halfway through the season. I think that's something, at least to talk about. So, anything I say now will probably be out of date by the time the season completes its run. But let's go anyway. Anyway, I'm going to talk about it anyway. I think the season's great. I like the fact that they're taking the direction to New Vegas. We get to see like the Caesar's Legion and Mr. House and the New Vegas. Great. I love that. I think they're changing a lot of the lore. Not really like retconning, but just adding new things that wasn't established before. And I know for some like diehard Fallout fans, they're not gonna like that. Like again, I'm not gonna get to spoilers, but the way they portray something like the Kings from New Vegas, or the way they show the fact that like Death Claws have been a thing even before the apocalypse. I know some fans are not gonna like that because it is like a big, huge, like not retcon, but like a big addition to the lore. But I don't know. I didn't mind it that much. I think they're pretty cool. In fact, the changes I did like the changes a little bit, not as much. I mean, they're like amazing change or anything, but I think they add to it anyway. And I don't know, I think Fallout has always been a good show. I really like the fact that it okay, just to clear and make my thoughts simple and easy. The show is great because it has the established lore and it adds to it, but not necessarily taking away from it, if that makes sense. Okay, like it isn't like the people who make the show obviously play the games. That makes sense, right? Todd Howard, the CEO of Bethesda, the studio that makes Fallout, is heavily involved in the show. So it feels exactly like I'm literally watching the video games come to life. It's a really great adaptation. I really like that. I love the lore of Fallout. It's always been amazing. And I think the acting is great. Walton Goggins, he was also in White Lotus season 3. So, shout out to him. He's doing great. I think he's probably the best actor in TV right now. So he's great. The Ghoul, I love the Ghoul. He's a great character. He's very like badass. Okay, like he's really cool. He's really cool. Ella Purnell, obviously you all know I love her. She's great at Lucy. I love her little like character, how like nice and naive she is. I think it's really great. What I don't like is the fact that there's like a strong shipping. Look, I've never been much of a shipper. Shipping 2 characters together in a series never really been my thing. I just like if they're not official, then why would I care? So, but like the whole Ghoulsey, I think it's called Ghoulsey, the shipping of the Ghoul with Lucy. It boils my fucking blood. And before you say anything, no, it's not because I love Ella Purnell. I mean, I do love Ella Purnell. I want her. I do not like. It's not me being some like angry like simp who obviously doesn't want my favorite actress to be in a relationship or dating anyone. No, it has to do with the fact that first off, Ella Purnell is like barely 30. Okay, Walton Goggins is like 55. Okay, Walton Goggins is old enough to be Ella Purnell's dad. Okay, I don't know about you, for all my woke feminists out there, but the fact that these young, and again, it doesn't matter. They're both like well over 18, so it doesn't matter. But like the fact that they keep pairing young women with way older men is problematic, and they should stop doing that. Okay. And plus, I always thought the Ghoul and Lucy have more of like a father-daughter relationship rather than like a lovers. Okay. I just don't like, even in the lore, the Ghoul is literally like 200 years old, and Lucy is like maybe in her mid-20s. Okay. That dude, even before the war, before he turned to a Ghoul, that dude was probably like in his 40s. Okay. Like now he's too old for her, okay? And plus, why are people shipping her with the Ghoul? Maximus, the Brotherhood of Steel guy, is obviously going to be her love interest. They literally kiss at the end of season 1. I think they're more meant for each other, okay? I like Maximus and Lucy. Lucy is obviously the nice, naive, trusting, goody two shoes. And Maximus, he wants to be a goody two shoes, but he just lives in a horrible world that makes him do horrible things. And so that's a good pairing. Lucy is idealistic. Maximus wants to be idealistic, but he just can't. But Lucy is too idealistic and doesn't let her survive in the wasteland. They make a good pair, and they're going to be together. I am a strong supporter of Lucy and Maximus. This is what the show is going to do. I don't know why people keep shipping Lucy with the Ghoul. It just won't work, okay? It's a horrible ship. Now, I don't think because he's a Ghoul, in Fallout 4, you can romance ghouls, okay? I'm pretty sure in all Fallout games, you can, have relations with ghouls. There's nothing wrong with that, If you're into ghouls, the wrinkly, disgusting, cancer-ridden ghouls, all the power to you. All the power to you. Okay, but that Ghoul is too fucking old for her. Okay, they should not be together. I'm sorry. I went on a little tangent there. I keep seeing it on my Twitter feed. I don't like it. Okay, I do not like it. If anything, Lucy should be with me. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm not that parasocial about my celebrity crushes. But what I will say though, besides the whole little shipping thing aside, I do like the fact that because everyone was afraid that season 2 of Fallout, great, it takes place in New Vegas. Everyone thought that only the last episode was actually going to take place in Vegas, and the whole 7 episodes was just going to be them getting there. I like the fact that was not the case. By season 4, they're in the Strip, and I mean they reveal a huge twist of the Strip that I feel like a lot of people are not going to be happy. Because I'm just going to talk about it anyways. Big spoiler, but the New Vegas Strip is destroyed. It's demolished. Okay, it's not the vibrant city that it was in Fallout New Vegas, and obviously people are going to be mad. Why would they do that? Why would they change that? I mean, if you played the Fallout New Vegas DLC, I forgot what it was called, but there's a character in it, Ulysses. Shout out to Ulysses. He literally tells you in that DLC that New Vegas will not last long. That in a couple of years, a decade or so, it will fall because it's just the way of the wasteland. Nothing lasts. Nothing lasts. And some people are also happy because in Fallout, the show, they also show that the New California Republic also collapsed. Right, the capital was nuked in season 1, and some people are also unhappy about that. The New California Republic was the closest thing to a functioning democracy in the wasteland. But I feel like that's just kind of the whole theme of Fallout, right? War never changes. As much as people will try to rebuild society just can never be rebuilt because that's just the way of the wasteland, okay? Again, same thing. Mr. House in the games talk about how the factions will always just keep fighting. The Brotherhood of Steel, the New California Republic, Caesar's Legion, the Enclave. They will always be fighting. The society can never be rebuilt as long as factions continue to fight for the really minuscule reasons, So again, some people also don't like how Mr. House is being portrayed. I just feel like Mr. House has always been portrayed the same. Okay, he's the charismatic, snobby, rich billionaire. He is the same as the game. I don't know why people are acting like it's a huge change. Right in the show, he's kind of like a Howard Hughes type character. He's the snobby, rich playboy gentleman. He was like that in the games. I don't know why people are mad about that. He literally was like that in the games also. Okay. And yeah, again, like I said, there's big changes. I wouldn't call them retcons, just big changes. I don't see why. I personally weren't a fan, mad about it or anything. I think I kind of like the changes. Again, destroying the UCR, I think it was kind of lame, but I mean, way of the wasteland. I kind of understand why they did that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the show got renewed for more seasons, and I do hope every season is them in a location that we've already explored in the games, right? Because in Fallout 1 and 2, the really old ones take place entirely in Los Angeles, the Southern California region, right? That's basically what season 1 takes place. Fallout New Vegas obviously takes place in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where season 2 takes place. So I'm pretty sure they have a 5-season plan because that's what most shows probably have. And I'm pretty sure I heard it somewhere, right? By the way, Fallout is made by Jonathan Nolan, who's the brother of Christopher Nolan, the big famous movie director. So it's just a fun fact I want to throw out there. But I do hope more seasons take us to the locations of the other games, right? Maybe season 3 of the show could take place in Washington, D.C. That's where Fallout 3 takes place. Maybe the 4th season could be in Boston, right? That's where Fallout 4 takes place. Maybe we have a season in West Virginia because that's where Fallout 76 takes place. Or maybe it could be Texas, right? That one Fallout spin-off that no one's played, and I don't think anyone likes. I think it's called Brotherhood of Steel Tactics. I never played it because it has like it's near universally hated on. That one takes place in Texas, so maybe we'll get one there. I don't know, but I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, going from the West Coast to the East Coast is a very big change. I don't know how they're gonna like do that, right? But I don't know if they can do. I think it's just cool seeing them revisit these locations that we've already like familiar and been to. I just think it was great, especially since the East Coast kind of has their own thing. Like I mentioned the Enclave, but the Enclave only really exists in the East Coast. West Coast is Brotherhood of Steel, Legion, NCR. East Coast is like the Enclave. Brotherhood of Steel is also over there. There's like two factions: West Coast faction, East Coast faction. Enclave, Brotherhood of Steel, East Coast faction. There's like the Institute and the Minutemen. So there's like different factions, different things, and I just think it'll be great if they do that. You know, yeah, I think this season again unfair because it's not done yet. It could suck in the end. I don't know, but as far as we are at this point, right? I think by the recording of this video, it's like 4 episodes. I think it's really great. I'm really enjoying it. Wallen Goggins, Ella Purnell, they're amazing. I love them. I think they're like a great duo. Also, they should definitely be more things together because I just love their little dynamic they have. I love everything. I mean, some of the CGI isn't great. Like there's like a scene, I think it's like episode 3 of season 2, where like the Brotherhood of Steel guys fight one of the Securitrons, and it looked horrible. But I mean, unless it was anime, I actually don't know how else they could have done it, especially with like a TV budget. I don't know how else they could have done it because this show is pretty expensive, right? The CGI in this one is like the sets and everything is pretty so huge and grandiose. I mean, I'm surprised they're able to do something like that to begin with. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for more Fallout. I love Fallout. Fallout is my favorite anything really. I love Fallout, and yeah, I just really like the season where it's going, and I let's hope it gets getting better. Okay, let's hope it's getting better.
No, no, no! They probably even had a fingernail polish on? What is happening in this even world?
But now going from a show season that I really loved to a season I really disloved is The Witcher season 4 on Netflix. Where do we begin with The Witcher? So first off, I also really like The Witcher games. The show isn't based on the games. A common misconception, by the way. Both the show and the games are based on the books. The Witcher originates as the novel series. The games are based on the books, and the show is based on the books also. The show is not based on the games. It's two like interpretations of the same story, but they are different. Because I've played the games, and the show are pretty different with the way they depict certain things. Because the games obviously leave some things out from the book, and the show also leaves some out the books, but they both have like same things, but they also have different things. It's a whole thing, all right? But I like the show. Like the first 2 seasons, I do think are great. Like Game of Thrones level amazingness. Okay, Dark Fantasy, I think is great. Season 3 was, was bad. I don't know what happened. I just know there was like a huge dip in quality. Like, that season was, oh my god. And season 4, first off, season 4 starts with the fact that Henry Cavill, who played Geralt in the first 3 seasons, he quit played quit the show. Okay. Played Geralt. Played quit the show. Okay. I think Geralt had like there was like a behind the scenes drama. Like Henry Cavill, I think got into like a really bad argument with like the showrunner. I forgot her name. But there was like some big argument because I think Henry Cavill was like they wasn't liking how the show's direction because I think he was like a fan of the game, so he didn't like how it was going, and he left the show. And instead, they replaced him with Liam Hemsworth, who's Chris Hemsworth's brother. He played Thor in the Marvel movies. So, and no shame to Liam Hemsworth. He's a great actor. He's good. I mean, I haven't really seen him in other things, but he does fine. It's so weird to watch like a show and the main character is like replaced, and you're supposed to see. It is more of a me issue rather than the show itself, I guess. But like, Geralt, the way Liam Hemsworth plays Geralt is so different. Not even just in appearance, but even just like in mannerism, it's so different from the way Henry Cavill plays Geralt. I just can't help like it. Like, are these even the same people? Like, I don't know. It's so it takes me out because every time I'm watching the show and I see Liam Hemsworth, it's like it takes me out because I have to remind myself like, yeah, this is Geralt. Even he doesn't look like him. He doesn't really talk like him. I don't know. It's just weird. And I just have a hard time like struggling to it. Like it's one thing if like a side minor character was replaced with actors. I can live with that. It's fine. But when it's like the main guy, the main face, it's a different face. I don't know. It fucks me up a little bit. Okay, and yeah, like the point, even in the show, I think season 4 definitely weak. Like this season, I think this season and maybe another one we'll get into was really the only season in my little show that I think really considered to be bad. This season sucked. This season did suck. Okay, I barely even remember what happened in it because I was so bored and so like okay, this season, Geralt and Ciri are split. Right, Geralt is doing his own thing, and Ciri meets up with the rats. The rats are this group of bandits made up of like young teenagers and young adults. The rats were so fucking annoying. Oh my god, I could not stand the rats. I hated the rats. Okay, they were so annoying. They like always go on speeches about like rebellion. It's like, oh my god, like a middle-aged man wrote these characters because this is it's not Siri. I like Siri. Her actress Freya, I think she's great. She's great. She's always great. But these fucking rats, oh my god. Like I think the only one was like the only one I think I was like bearable from the rats. But even then, it's like, oh my god, these are so annoying. And but with that being said, the final episode, and spoilers, I'm talking about anyway, ends with like there's like an evil Witcher, right? He's like want to kill Geralt because he's like hired as an evil Witcher, right? Witchers are like, if you don't know the lore, the Witchers are like, you know, monster hunters. So there's an evil Witcher wants to kill Geralt. He wants because Ciri is like a princess, and obviously the kingdom she's from wants her back, so he's like gonna take Ciri and take her back to the kingdom by force. She doesn't want to go back. She wants to be a Witcher, and this Witcher brutally like murders all of the rats. And you'd think I'd be happy with that because I hated the rats, right? They were so annoying. I'm glad they died because that means I wanted to see them more. But the way this evil Witcher kills the rats is so brutal and just so like, oh my god, I couldn't believe like he kills them. He ties Ciri up. The evil Witcher ties Ciri's up, you know, gags her and everything. He forces her to watch as the evil Witcher beheads all of her friends one by one. Like so, he doesn't behead. He like fucking saws that shit off, takes their heads off, and then drains them of the blood. And it's such a brutal scene. Like Freya Allen is a Ciri, great actress. Her performance, just like John Cena and Peacemaker, amazing. I felt that sorrow. I felt those tears. And it's such a brutal scene. That's why I kind of compare The Witcher to Game of Thrones, because every now and then I have like these absolutely horrific scenes that remind me just of a Game of Thrones, just like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. If you remember that, anyone, shout out to my Game of Thrones fans. That shit was so brutal, and it took me out because I was like so zoned out by that point. Like again, the season sucked, and by the time I like really realized what was happening, I was like shocked at what I was saying. It really is like you just have to be seen to be believed because it was horrible. But then, like that was a good part. I would like that. That made me actually feel bad for the rats. I did not fucking like it, but the fact of seeing them being so brutally murdered didn't make me feel bad for them. But it just ends. That's how the season ends. It ends. Series are crying. You know, her friends are being murdered. Her girlfriend is being her fucking head chopped off. It's fucking horrific. Evil Witcher's like laughing the whole time. Really awful. Fucking. I hate the fucking Evil Witcher. Also, horrible. Vox and Hazbin Hotel. I liked to hate. This one I just hate to hate. I really want to see the Evil Witcher get his fucking guts cut out. Okay, I hate that. That motherfucker's so evil. But then he's laughing. He's chopping the heads off. Series crying, and then it just cuts to black, and that's it. That's the season ends. Like, but that's how it ends. They just die. That's how it ends. That's such a lame. I'm like so blue ball. Like what the fuck? And it's not even like a good. It's like a cliffhanger, but it's not even a good cliffhanger because it's more frustrating than anything. Like what the fuck? You know? Like, oh my god. It's just. I hated the way it ended because now blue balled and The Witcher usually takes like 2 years between seasons. I'm going to wait 2 years, and I mean I could just read the books, but like why would I do that? And if you ask, you know, the games don't do that. They don't. I don't think they really adapt that storyline. Maybe it was like too dark. But oh my, that shit was frustrating. And it's like the only part in this season where I remember, because everything else was so fucking boring. Again, the rats were annoying. Liam Hemsworth's Geralt was like not good. Anya Charlotta, who plays Yennefer, I hope I'm saying her name right. She was great. She gets naked a lot, so that was good. But I don't know. I'm losing interest. Okay, those first 2 seasons of The Witcher were so good. I really did like it. Season 3 was bad. Season 4 is like really bad. And I know there's a 5th season. I'm pretty sure it's the final season also, which I'm glad. Okay, I don't know how much of this horse shit I could take, honestly, you know, but I don't know. They better. I don't know how they can salvage this. You know, no hate to Liam Hemsworth, but he's just not Geralt. Okay, I just don't see it, and it's just it really is difficult seeing my goat get washed. You know, because I really did love The Witcher and seeing it fall in this quality, it was just horrible. So yeah, I did not like The Witcher season 4. I think it's definitely probably the worst season I've been talked about. It sucked. It sucked. Don't watch it. Watch the first 2 seasons, maybe watch the rest, I guess. But like, yeah, it sucked. So whatever. And no, it's not because of the woke stuff. Okay, there's a bunch of I know some fucking those like anti woke MAGA retards were all mad because fucking I shouldn't have said that word. But the point is they were all mad because like The Witcher has black people, it has gay people. Like, oh my god, what the fuck? They're ruining my fantasy, putting black and gay people. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Okay. The Witcher season 4 is bad, not because there's fucking minorities in it, but just because the fucking writing is horrible, okay? But whatever. Regardless of the point. I don't want to talk about The Witcher more. I'm getting like really mad about it. Let's go to the next show. So the next show I want to talk about is another Netflix show. It's the Netflix show, arguably. It's Stranger Things season 5. First off, I hate the fact that they split it into 3 parts, right? First part of Stranger Things season 5 came out in like Thanksgiving. Second part, Christmas. Third part, New Year's. That's really stupid, okay? Like either release the fucking episodes weekly or just release it all at the same time. Don't fucking do this stupid fucking part shit because it's dumb. I hate it. Invincible did that also, like season 2, I think, and that sucked. I hate it. Witcher season 3 also did that. I hate it. I don't know why Netflix keeps doing it. It was like their big shows. They keep splitting it. It fucking sucks. Stop doing that, okay? And obviously, Stranger Things. I think this new season was okay. I think it was okay. I don't hate it. I know some people really hate it. I don't hate it. I don't think it's really bad to say. I still think it was good, but like it was really like disappointing. It's really mid. It's a mid show. Nothing like. First off, last episode also disappointing. Okay, that's like a common thing. I think that's happening. Last episode was so bad. It was bad. The main villain, Vigna, is defeated in like 10 minutes. Obviously, this horrible CGI big fight scene. Horrible. Too many characters, by the way. There's way too many fucking characters. They needed to kill off like half of them. And the ones that do kill off, first off, it's like the random girl from that really bad episode from like season 2. Horrible. Spoilers, but 11 dies. That was really fucking stupid. 11 literally never had like an ounce of happiness in her life since like childhood. And the fact they just kill her off, I think it was really like if anyone deserved a happy ending, it was 11. Okay, she suffered so much, and instead they just killed her. You could have killed so many other characters. You decided to kill 11, really. And the last episode, like 10 minutes to defeat Vigna, and then the last like 40 minutes is just them corny as shit graduation scene. They're playing D&D. It was so bad. It was just so bad. Like I'm getting frustrated even just talking about it. First off, nothing in the Upside Down makes fucking sense. Okay, they try explaining it as like a wormhole or some shit. I'm still confused how the fuck it works. Vecna, I think, was a great villain, but like his final fight was just so lame. It was so lame. Too many characters. Again, there's like this really horrible scene. Spoilers, but Will comes out as gay, and he's explaining to a room of like 20 people. I swear to God, he doesn't even know like half of them. Okay, fucking old middle-aged people are there. People he's never interacted with, and they're all just smiling, going like, "Oh, yeah." Horrible scene. Horrible scene. Fucking no serious character except 11 dies. Even then, least deserving person to die. And everyone goes back to like that status quo. Like, doesn't make it. First off, they're being hunted down by like the military. Okay, they're gonna destroy the Upside Down. I feel like there will be major consequences for doing that. Except the military just lets them go, and they just like Hopper is a cop again. Wasn't Hopper like presumed dead for so many years? Like he was like in Russia. He killed so many. Nancy killed so many U.S. soldiers. You think they'd be like prosecutors or something? Like, no, there's. I feel like Stranger Things has gone so off the rail and so huge in scope of its story that the fact that they just try to make a happy ending and go back to the status quo, it doesn't work because this is not like have you seen the story? This is not a natural conclusion of the story. It just feels so out of place. Like if you want to make a happy ending, make a happy ending. But like I feel like the way they ended it was just so corny. It was so like it's so safe. It's just like, is this a show for adults or is this a show for fucking babies? Because what is happening? Okay, like, why is this show so afraid of taking risk? And the risk they do take is just so like undeserving, and it's so frustrating. Stranger Things, especially like all the main actors kind of suck. Okay, like Millie Bobby Brown, fucking Noah Schnapp. They were like good child actors. This is the worst part. Is they were good in like the early season when they were kids, but now they're grown up and they're acting like so stale. It's so lame, and Stranger Things is so overhyped, and like the Stranger Things ending was so ass that people started coming up with conspiracy theories that there's a secret ninth episode is gonna come out like a week later. It never happened. Did not happen. That's how bad it was. Motherfucker was it was so unbelievably bad that people just started making up the idea that there was secret. No, it was so bad on purpose because they're gonna release a secret episode. It's actually gonna be good, but no, it's just bad. Okay, Stranger Things ran its course a long time ago. Okay, it ran its course a long time ago, and I just think like I'm glad it finally did it because I just don't know where else it could have gone. Okay, like it ran its course. It aired for way too long. Seasons took it literally took years, 3 years between seasons. Fucking episodes were also way too long. Like the last episode of this one was 2 hours long. They released it in theaters. Why is it not need to be that long? Okay, just make more episodes. Why do you have to like feel the need to only do 8 episodes? Like 2 hours, you could easily make like 4 episodes out of that. But whatever. I was really disappointed. I'm not like the huge Stranger Things fans or anything, but like I feel like even diehard Stranger Things fans are kind of disappointed because it's just disappointing. It really was. They tried to be so safe about it, and I think it just fell on their ass completely because it was just so lame. It was a lame season. I mean, I don't want to say it's like horrible. I think the season is like mediocre. Season 5, I think, is mediocre. But like, oh my god, it could have been so much better because they had potential. It had potential to be so much better. I kind of see the vision they were trying to do, but the way their execution was just so horrible. And I don't know. I mean, they're making more Stranger Things. I know they are. I'm pretty sure they announced like a spinoff. I don't know. I hope whatever they do is better than whatever this piece of shit came out. Okay, horrible. There's like again, power scaling is horrible. These Demogorgons taking the bullets of soldiers, but yet fucking middle-aged mom with a bottle, broken bottles does more damage than that. Fucking people complain about the military not being able to do shit, but like I mean, in these type of stories, the military never does shit. The purpose is just fodder. But they could have gotten rid of the military. I don't feel like they do anything. Again, there's no major consequence in the end from them. So like, what was the point even? It's just there to add conflict, but it was an unnatural conflict. Fucking again, main characters all have plot armor. Nothing happens. Upside down still makes no fucking sense. I don't know how that thing works. What the purpose of anything really was. Like, what was Victor's whole plan to turn the Earth to upside down? Why? He already has the upside down. It makes no sense. It's stupid. It's so over. Stranger Things became so overblown that it became a parody of itself. Okay, like it really is trash. It really is trash. I'm just people say the first season is the best and you should only watch this first season. I disagree. I think the show as a whole is still great. It's great, right? I still like it. Season 5, I say is mid, but like I don't know, it is disappointing. It is really disappointing. I think it's like another Game of Thrones situation. Like the whole show in general is great, but like that was last season was really bad. Such things like horrible. So sad what it became. And on that note, the next show kind of has a similar path. And the next show I want to talk about is not from a streaming service. It's actually from Adult Swim. It's Rick and Morty season 8. Hey, I feel like most people who have watched Rick and Morty don't even know the season came out because Rick and Morty has had the biggest fall off. It fell off so hard in recent years. Rick and Morty, I remember when I was young, Rick and Morty was like the cool show. All the cool dudes watched Rick and Morty, okay? It was the funniest shit ever. Pickle Rick was fucking hilarious. But now the show, no one talks about it, okay? Like the show fell off so hard. And some people say it's because of Justin Whalen, the co-creator. He voiced Rick and Morty, got fired. And I don't want to defend Justin Whalen because he is like a big piece of shit, right? Multiple sexual assault allegations made against him, probably all true. But I feel like, as horrible as a person he was, he definitely played a big role in the show's success. The fact that he's gone, you can definitely see the drop in quality. Some people don't like the new voices for Rick and Morty. I personally don't mind them that much. I feel like it sounds similar enough. I'm not too picky about that. But then Rick and Morty is just like it tries so hard to be a comedy. It doesn't want to do any serious like plot lines. But I feel like I heard it a lot because every time they do something serious, like the Evil Morty thing, I hate what they did with Evil Morty. They could have done some way more things with it, but they just don't want to. Like the creators of Rick and Morty don't want to create like continuity or like a continuing plot. They just want to make their dumb comedy episodic thing. And that's fine for it is, but I feel like Rick and Morty's gone to a point where like it has a deep lore now. You can't just like ignore it and pretend it doesn't. And by the way, these new episodes kind of suck. The plot lines are so stupid. And it's just not funny. It's just not funny, okay? Like, it really was. I think Rick and Morty should just end, honestly. Like, maybe one more season. But even then, like, they should just... It's just not funny anymore. It's not cool anymore. Fucking... Like, again, Rick and Morty fans don't even know the season came out. I'll be surprised if they didn't know. I didn't even know it came out. I only started watching it because it just popped up into my feed one day. And it's just so... It fell off. It really did fall off, okay? It's a shame. I thought early Rick and Morty was great. Early Rick and Morty was amazing. And And again, I know Rick and Morty kind of has the same reputation as has been Hotel. Like the fan base is horrible, and it is. But I always feel like using the fan base as an excuse is shitty. Like really, any fandom, big franchise with a fan base is horrible. Like all of them are. I don't know. I feel like that's just a cop out or reason to not watch something. But Rick and Morty, biggest follow. I mean, there were some episodes in the new season I liked. I like when the Beth one, where like she was like explored her childhood in a relationship with Rick. I thought that was good. But like a lot of them are just stupid jokes prolonged for 20 minutes, and it's just not funny. And it's not funny. If your comedy series is not funny, you failed as a comedy series. Okay, so Rick and Morty. I think this season again, Rick and Morty season 8 and The Witcher season 4 are really the only two seasons what I would consider as bad, because it is bad. It's horrible. It sucks. Again, forgettable. I don't remember what happened much of it because it was just boring. It was just boring. It's not funny. It was just boring. So I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, Rick and Morty fans. Smiling Friends is now the cool hit Adult Swim comedy show. You know, you're old news now. I'm sorry. This is how it is. But yeah, I mean, Rick and Morty. I'll probably still watch Rick and Morty more out of like because I'm already watching it, so I might as well watch the new stuff rather than I'm not excited for a new Rick and Morty season, honestly, because I know it's gonna be more meandering than nothing. You know, like Stranger Things at least I know ended. So that's fine. No Witcher season 5 I'm not looking forward to at all because it's probably gonna suck also. But you know, Rick and Morty, I'm just not looking forward to the new season. I think it just fell off. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm still watching. I don't know. But if they keep up with the rate where they are at, I'll probably will just stop watching because it just fell off. It just fell off. That's the best way I can say about Rick and Morty. It fell off. I'm sorry, Rick and Morty. You were funny when I was like 14, not anymore when I'm like 24. Okay, anyway, the final show I'm going to talk about is a show that I thought fell off, but definitely came back. And that show is South Park on Comedy Central. First off, South Park, I think fell off. Like the last season of South Park kind of sucked, and I thought like that was it. You know, like I turned off my mic there. Anyway, what was I saying? South Park should honestly wrap up after the last season. That was horrible. But this new season, in fact, it's 2 seasons actually. It's seasons 27 and 28. I thought it was gonna be 1 season, but they split it. I don't know why they did that. I'm just gonna treat it as 1 season because they released like back continuously, right? Season 27 ended and season 28 started immediately next week. So not next week though. Okay, new South Park. They released a new episode every 2 weeks. And keep in mind, South Park episodes are only like 30 minutes long. Not even like 20 minutes long. 2 weeks for 20-minute episodes is whack. Okay, that is whack. Okay, 1 week is already long enough. 2 weeks, you gotta be kidding me. And even that wasn't 2 weeks. I think they took like a delay in one. So it was like 3 weeks. They were just milking the shit out of that. Okay, Paramount gotta stop milking the shit out of that. I know South Park is huge. I love South Park, but like almost a 3 week wait for an episode. It's only 20 minutes long. You're fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy. Okay. That being said, though, I do think this is fine. Again, I'm not gonna say 28 is better than 27 or 27 is better than 28. I just kind of see it as the same season, so I'm just gonna talk about it as the same. I think this one was really funny, and that's great. I think South Park is back, baby. It's back. South Park is back. I like the new way they did the whole Trump thing. Like, obviously, they're gonna do Donald Trump, right? Like, obviously, South Park has always been like political, so they're always gonna do it. I didn't really like how they did Donald Trump in like the last season, where it was like Mr. Garrison, he was Trump. I didn't really think that was funny. I thought it was kind of like it's not funny, and I hated the fact they kept doing it. So I'm glad they did this new Trump thing, which is basically just Saddam Hussein, you know, relax, guy, buddy. I like that. I thought it was fun. I know some people didn't like it because it's really not episodic. I don't know, for some reason South Park started doing like now plot lines, continuous plot lines throughout the season. I did that like a couple seasons back, and yeah, I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I just feel like South Park. I mean, it's always been an episodic thing, and they kind of still do that, but I don't know. Maybe I don't think this season was nearly as strong of a plot, but I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. You know, I still very like it. Another thing that people didn't like is the fact that not every episode is about the boys anymore, right? Like, you know, Golden Age South Park, every episode was about the 4 guys. You know, Cartman, Kenny, Stan, and Kyle. I think this new season only like 2 episodes are really about them because South Park has like a big cast of characters now, and so there's like a Butters episode, there's like a Randy episode. You know, I think they had like a fucking Towley episode. So some people don't like that. I personally didn't mind it that much because I like Butters, I like Randy. I think they're fun characters. I do like how every episode introduced like a new like mega politician Republican, right? There was like an episode of like the Christy Gnome, whatever the fuck her name is, the ice chick. There was one with like the Pete Hegseth and the AI tech bro. I thought it was really funny. I'm glad they didn't do an episode of Elon Musk because I know for a fact Elon Musk would fucking do a backflip if he saw himself in South Park. Elon Musk loves South Park, and I'm glad. I'm glad the fact they're not giving him like they're not putting him in South Park just out of pure spite for him, and I love that. I like that. Okay, but again, the Trump stuff I think is pretty funny. Again, people might not like the Trump stuff, right? I mean, who does like Trump really? But I think it's funny. I'm not like too bothered by it. I just hope they don't overdo it the next season. Also, like I think one season, like obviously they're gonna do more Trump stuff. Obviously, this motherfucking Trump is crazy, right? Like there's so much like comedic gold you can get out of Trump and the crazy shit he and his administration be doing. But I do hope they tone it down just a little bit more next season. You know, maybe a couple episodes, not the whole thing. But it was funny. I like the whole 6-7 episode and the Labubu's and the fucking Antichrist thing, like saying Trump getting Satan pregnant. Sorry, I'm talking too much. But the whole Trump getting Satan pregnant was great. I love that. I love that. I love how that storyline ends. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I love that. Funny. And yeah, I think South Park was really funny. I really liked it. I think it was fucking. It's definitely improved. Last season was horrible, and they improved greatly on that. Okay, so 29 season 30. You know, I feel like eventually they kind of have to stop, or else South Park will just kind of be like another Simpsons situation where they just keep lazy seasons, and each season it's just worse and worse and worse. I just hope that the creators of South Park at least do end it eventually, because I know I'm saying it'd be perfect if South Park ends at season 30. Okay, because like you can't keep things going on forever. South Park is like been going since like the 90s, so that shit is almost like 30 years old. Okay, so I think it's poetic if they end it season 30. But I mean, who knows? You know, South Park is huge. South Park is huge. It's like the biggest money maker for like Paramount, I think. So they'll probably keep doing it. And I mean, if it keeps up the rate and quality it is with these new 2 seasons, I wouldn't mind it that much, honestly. One thing I was annoyed was that the trailer they released for the South Park seasons, they had like fake plot lines in that trailer, and I hate it because that was in the trailer. It was literally, I'll probably play it here, but like there was like the whole P Diddy was in it, and he was P Diddy chasing Starvin Marvin. I really want to see that episode, but no, apparently that was fake, and I was really disappointed because like, can you imagine an episode of P Diddy chasing Starvin Marvin? That'd be so great. I really wanted to see that, but it's fine. Maybe in the future they'll do it. But yeah, I think the season was great. I think South Park has definitely picked up. You know, Unk still got it. I'm glad that they see that, so I enjoyed it, and it was great. It was great. Not the complete Rick and Morty and South Park did like a complete opposite thing. You know, Rick and Morty fell off. South Park was falling up, and now they definitely upped the pace. Maybe Rick and Morty too. I don't know. Well, we'll see in the future. I doubt it though. But I think with that being said, is all the new shows that I've seen, all the new seasons that I've seen. Now, if I were to rank them in a top 10, including the show seasons that I talked about in my first ever video, okay, like my top 10 best new seasons of 2025. Okay, my top 10 best new seasons of old shows in 2025. Okay, again, the only 2 seasons I would consider to be really bad is Witcher season 4 and Rick and Morty season 8. Those 2 fucking sucked. I hated those. Not fun to watch. Stranger Things season 5 was mediocre. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't really good either. Okay, I'm not putting in the top 10. For the 2 honorable mentions, because I'm pretty sure that there's like 12. So 2 honorable mentions. Won't be in my top 10. They're still good. Okay, everything going forward is good. I love all these. But my 2 honorable mentions didn't make it to my top 10. 2 honorable mentions are Has Been Hotel season 2 and A Man on the Inside season 2. These are still good. I still like these 2. They're still great. Just didn't make it in my top 10. They weren't particularly like amazing or anything, but no, I did. Okay, so number 10. My top 10. Number 10 would be Invincible season 3. Number 9 would be Nobody Wants This season 2. Number 8 would be it was a tough one. I want to say fuck, this is a tough one. Okay. Number 10, Invincible season. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down. Hold on, let me check. Bear with me. Okay. Number 10 would be Invincible season 3. Number 9, Nobody Wants This season 2. Number 8, Adventure Time Fiona and Cake season 2. Number 7 would be Peacemaker season 2. Number 6, Hacks season 4. Yeah, Hacks season 4. Number 5, South Park seasons 27 and 28. Number 4, again, kind of cheating, but I'm including it anyway because I really like it. And honestly, my opinion, I'm wearing the shirt. I'm gonna bring it up. Number 4 is Fallout season 2. Number 3 is, I want to say, Black Mirror season 7. Number 2 is Andor season 2, and number 1 is The White Lotus season 3. So those are my top 10. And okay, this video is already getting too long. I didn't want to make it long enough. I'll make this brief also. As for new seasons of older shows coming out in 2026, I'm looking forward to. Well, for a couple, The Pit season 2, I think is coming out. I'm really excited for that one. That's like a show that came out in 2025, so I'll bring that up in my next video, my top 10 best new shows. So I'm really glad The Pit does like 15 episodes a season, so I'm really glad that's good quality content. On the same note, Daredevil, Born Again season 2, I'll probably looking forward to that. I really like that. Daredevil, again, I'll get more into it in my top 10 best new shows of 2025 video, which I'll make soon. One Piece season 2, I'm looking forward to that. I really like One Piece. I think it was probably the best live action adaptation of an anime and manga, so I'm gonna join that. I think it's gonna be Invincible season 4. I think it's coming out next year also. So more Invincible. I like Invincible. We already know that. The Boys season 5, also coming out Amazon, right? The Piz, HBO Max, Daredevil's, Born Again, Disney Plus, and One Piece Netflix. Invincible and The Boys season 5, Amazon. This is the final season also, so I'm looking forward to that. Some people didn't like season 4. I personally like season 4, so we'll see if they continue with that. I mean, season 5 is already getting pretty crazy, guys. But the trailer and everything is getting pretty crazy. Beef season 2 is a pretty underrated show. I think a lot of people watch. It's like an anthology on Netflix. So I can't wait to see what they do for season 2. That was a really good show. In terms of Blue Eye Samurai season 2, I'm pretty sure it's coming out in 2026. I don't know if it's like 100% confirmed, but word on the street says that season 1 of Blue Eye Samurai had 8 episodes. Season 2 is only going to have 6 episodes, which is kind of lame. I don't know why they cut it short. I do want to know where they take it, though, because, I mean, the way season 1 ended, them leaving feudal Japan, I'm assuming they're going to Europe, to like London or something. So I wonder how they're going to do a whole, mixed race samurai in London. I'm pretty cool. I went to see that. And the last one I want to say, because there's probably more, but I'm only thinking ones I know are like confirmed for 2026. X-Men 97 season 2. I think it was really good. Some people didn't like it because of the ugly art style. I disagree. I think the art style was just fine. It's X-Men 97 is like a sequel series to the 90s X-Men cartoon, which I did enjoy. I actually watched it. Pretty good. And I love the X-Men. X-Men are my favorite thing about Marvel, so I'm gladly check it out. I love anything X-Men. So that's also Disney Plus and Black Summer Netflix. So those are the shows I'm looking forward to next year and of the new seasons. And yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, stay tuned for my next video, which will be top 10 best new shows of 2025. It'll be all of that. The whole year, not just like the second half, first half, the whole year. I'll talk more about that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you decide to check out these shows that I all mentioned. All these shows, maybe except the new season of Witcher, Rick and Morty, are good. I still think you should check them out. I like all of them. And yeah, I just hope you learned something new. That's the big important thing. So thank you for being here. And keep in mind that I love you guys, and I can't wait for another year of amazing content that will make for you. 2026 will be our year, guys, okay? I will dedicate myself to this YouTube channel. So stay tuned for all that amazing content. I'm also going to be doing a top 10 best. I'll be doing like a top 20 best movies of 2025. Maybe I'll do like best songs or albums of 2025, best maybe video games. I don't know. Stay tuned for more content, okay? Because we're going to do a whole end of the year wrap, okay? So stay tuned for that. And yeah, again, long video and long enough. I yapped too much. I mean, there was a lot of shows to talk about. So I hope you enjoy watching it, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye. You feel so